So yes, I recently started making bread and now you won't see me very often in the kitchen, baking, cooking, doing that sort of things. I mean, I can boil eggs and steam veggies because that's my daily lunch. But when it comes to my breakfast, I guess I just didn't have bread for such a long time. Like, I completely cut bread out of my diet a few years ago, and it was hard and I really missed it. So I had some bread in when I was in Europe, and yeah, and kind of like the desire for it came back, but I just didn't want to buy like packaged bread in a supermarket because it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like the healthy option. So I found a recipe. This is actually a recipe for an Irish soda bread. I found it online on YouTube and I made it and I loved it, and I've been kind of making it since. I think I made it about at least 6 times now since coming back from Europe. So that's a big change in my diet because that means I'm having bread now on a daily basis, but I'm actually really loving it, with a bit of marmalade or jam for breakfast with my coffee. That feels like an absolute treat, or with avocado and tomatoes. Oh, I just love that. Like a piece of toast with avocado and tomatoes. Delicious. Oh my god, such an amazing thing. And here in Australia we've got a lot of avocados, so it's easy to get them. But the topic that I actually wanted to discuss with you today isn't cooking at all or cooking related, but it's got to do with something that I feel a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with it, and I definitely see struggles around it in other people in my family, my friends, and people in general. And this is this whole idea of loving and accepting yourself and even actually pleasing yourself. I posted this picture a few days ago on Instagram, and it was a picture of me just looking quite sexy, delicious, and lush. And the caption was along the lines of, when you learn that you cannot please the entire world, you finally learn to please yourself. And that's kind of like an essence of a delicious person, is that they can please themselves. They can live in a way that brings them joy, bliss, satisfaction, etc., as opposed to always trying to please other people. And this is such a big issue in the society where so many people are people pleasers, or we live under such a pressure of society or media that things are supposed to be in a certain way, that we're meant to be in a certain way. And so even if other people aren't directly putting that pressure on us, we are actually feeling it, we are actually experiencing it, and it goes from weight loss, so that we all are supposed to look in a particular way or have a certain body weight or body shape and size, etc. Our careers and money, how much money we make and what kind of jobs we work in, etc. Through what we do with our lives in general, how we spend our leisure time, and whether we travel or not, and how much we've achieved, according to so many different standards and so many different benchmarks, that we're kind of chasing certain ideals because that's the way it's supposed to be, or that is what a good life is. But it doesn't really work, because in my experience it just makes us miserable. And here I am watching YouTube, watching the media, traveling. I'm trying, I guess, to find a way to live my life in a way that feels rich, but I need to figure out what that looks like for myself, because I am also here kind of losing myself a little bit in what other people would be expecting of me in terms of the life that I'm living. Will it be okay for me to settle in Poland, after living in Australia for such a long time, or will people kind of render me irrelevant because Poland is not as a popular country, as France or Italy or Spain or many other more kind of exciting countries in the world. So like even that judgment that I'm putting on myself, can I settle in Poland, or will people think of me less, because of the place I might choose to live in? I don't know if I'm gonna choose to live in Poland yet. That is still something that I need to decide. But when I make these kind of decisions about my life, I really just want to make them for me in a way that fulfills my heart and my soul and brings me joy. It is such a big example of allowing other people to tell you how to live your life instead of living your life for yourself, pleasing yourself, delighting yourself with your life, with your choices. Like, I think this really comes down to the question, who are you living this life for? And this is something I have been kind of journeying with for a while now, really wanting to live this life for me. There are some kids running outside. I'm not sure if you can hear my neighbors playing. When we decide to live our life for somebody else, it's a bit of a wasted opportunity at creating something really authentically amazing. Living your life for yourself might look like doing things for other people and living your life for other people in terms of caring for them, supporting them, in whatever way that works for you. But that needs to be your authentic choice. That really cannot be coming from a place of people pleasing or seeking that external validation, because ultimately it never really is that satisfying. Whereas waking every day, realizing that you're living this life for yourself and you're doing things because they please you, because they satisfy you, because you are accepting yourself together with your desires, your needs, your wants, your passions as something that is valid and amazing and beautiful. Oh, hell yeah to that. Like, how amazing is that? And I think that the secret is to start small and to maybe start by living an afternoon for yourself and see what that feels like, what that looks like, first of all, and what that feels like for you in terms of your sense of satisfaction and joy in your life. And then maybe living a whole weekend for yourself, making that kind of choices that you feel are authentic for you. Really letting go of the word should from your vocabulary. Like, there is no such thing as should. You shouldn't do anything, but you can if you really want to. It feels like it is possibly one of those deathbed kind of questions. If you were on your deathbed tomorrow and you were to look back at your life the way you've lived it, would you feel satisfied? Would you have any regrets? Or would you be able to say, yes, I've lived my life well. I have filled it with magic and with things that gave me joy, pleasure, and satisfaction.